say that. I always throw you on the bus.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's something this is the second time.
Yeah.
And I know and we keep getting the echo. Anyway, we're here. Welcome to our loyal listeners. And well, we got off of the live feed, so we're not going live on YouTube any longer.
But you'll be able
today,
to.
but we will be able to put it on
post
YouTube. Yes,
after.
it's being recorded. We are the Coxes, and this is another edutainment edition of the Liquid Green Health Show, bringing you real conversation on two platforms, Reality Radio 101 and YouTube. As usual with our shows, we try to focus on the mind, the body, and overall well-being. Now, before we get into today's topic, we have a very, very important topic. I just want to give a quick caveat. Janet and I, we're not medical doctors. We basically just share information for general awareness and, everyday understanding. So if you're dealing with any kind of ongoing or serious health condition, we strongly encourage you to please get professional help. We encourage you to go speak with a qualified healthcare professional, and they will answer all of your questions. Today, we're stepping into one of the most talked about topics. It's been around. The subject we're going to be talking about is not new. We're just, making you more aware of what's happening.
Right. Well, it's new to a lot of people. What they don't realize that it has been around.
It's been around for a long
over 20
time.
Years.
Yes.
The buzz is new.
The buzz is new.
Yeah.
Right. So, and what we're talking about is GLP-1 drugs, medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro.
There's a whole host of them. Yeah.
It's a host of them, but these are the ones that we basically would like to talk about. And as Janice said, originally these things, it's been around for 2 decades or more, and they were originally developed to help manage type 2 diabetes. And these drugs are now, gaining the buzz, is now picking up momentum, and it's getting attention in every circle because people are using it for things that it really was not, they were not designed for. Weight loss and appetite control. And that raises, some very important questions. And we finally hope that with this conversation, we could lay some of the myths and, clear up some of the confusion because, that's what's happening. There's a lot of myths, and with that comes confusion. So our topic today, as I said earlier, is GLP-1 drugs, and that's what we're going to be talking about. If this is something that, touches, awakens something in you, then this conversation is for you. If you have a friend that would like to hear this conversation, please let them know that we are broadcasting live on Reality Radio 101. And at the end of it, we'll put it on YouTube, and you can also listen to us once again via Spotify. So, Janet, we don't have a guest today, so you're my guest.
Right. Well, that's something else I'll add. There is somebody that may join us, and a guest who I spoke to very, very late, and they're out in Seattle, Juliet. And she is a user, and she thought I asked her at the very last moment if she would share her experience. But of course, she may and she may not. So we'll hold our breath. Or should I say we won't hold our breath? Okay.
So what are these drugs really? And how before we get into how they work, because we're going to break it down how they work. And we're going to be talking about the side effects. We're going to be talking about the benefits and stuff like that.
We have been doing a lot of research, but I am going to be fully transparent.
Yeah.
I am very interested in this drug, in these drugs.
One of them.
In these drugs. So, to be honest, I'll find out which one when I discuss it with a doctor.
May I ask you why?
The reason is folks who've been listening to me for a while, even though I'm interested in health, I go to the gym, I still do my yoga, and I am not losing the 10 pounds for the last 10 years
I know what.
that I've been trying to lose. You say, Janet, you go swimming and yet you're not losing
Lack of
weight.
discipline.
It's the discipline, but no, it's willpower. And this is why I personally wanted to do the show today, because what people have understood is that there's a stigma of willpower,
Yes.
right? And when you talk to people like Juliet is in, fantastic.
Yeah.
When you talk to people like what's her name, Serena Williams, who's on one of these drugs, or like Oprah, who's tried everything under the sun and always reverts, right? What happens is that despite your will, you're trying, people who are on these drugs are now, they've been on it. They've tried everything else. They've tried every diet imaginable. So have I. They have tried to not cheat. Hi, Juliet. You look beautiful. Thank you. And they've tried to not cheat. And they have honestly done the gym. They've exercised. They've done so many things. And it does not work. And that is because I want to go to my notes here. What they say is that obesity, not that if you're 10 pounds overweight makes you obese, but obesity is now considered a disease.
What?
Well, yeah, we know that it is a disease, right?
I don't
And
think so.
it is
Anyway, yeah.
diagnosed as
In
a
the medical
disease.
world, yes, it
Yes.
is.
And I'm just trying to find exactly where I saw that, because um the fact that you can try everything, it is biological, all right? And there are signals in the body that, just like other chronic diseases, it's biological in nature, and to it's very hard to address with just saying, which is what so many health practitioners tell you: eat less, exercise more. And for a lot of people, Frederick, be honest, like myself, it doesn't work. I've tried so many things. Dr. Poon, I've tried what's that weight loss thing that I
It
gained
goes
weight
back.
on?
It
I
goes back
tried
to what I said.
herbs.
It's lack of discipline.
And you always say, just keep your mouth shut. It
Yeah.
doesn't work, right, Juliet? Just keep your mouth shut does not work. That's not a
Oh, yeah.
strategy,
Yep.
right? Anyway, let me introduce you, Juliet, because I know your time is limited. And Juliet, folks, is our darling niece who lives in Seattle. She grew up in France, where
Yes.
everybody was thin. And plus,
Yes.
Juliet, they do steps and they walk a lot.
Yes.
That's not
Yeah.
the North American lifestyle for most people. I don't want to
It's not.
generalize, right?
It is
You have
not.
a beautiful mother, my sister, and
Yes.
she's in the same body she had 50 years ago, and we're all jealous.
Yes.
And
And
because
she
of
didn't pass it on to me.
she didn't pass it on to you, and yet she expects you to be like, your grandma who had that body, right? And
Yes.
so there's family dynamics that we get some things. What they say is genes are one thing, genes is one thing, but environment is the critical factor, right?
That's very true.
Right. So because your time is limited, you have taken one of these drugs. So what I want to do is start with a personal experience. I'm not sure how we were going to start, but this is how we're going to start because you're
Okay.
here. So tell us what drug you took, or tell us a little bit about yourself if you want to add more than I did. Why you took something, what was your motivation, and how did it work out for you? And then once you're done, take your time. If we have to do two shows, we'll continue with what we wanted to talk about later. Let's hear
Okay.
from you. And thank you so much for being here.
No problem.
Okay.
So yes, I've been on the weight loss journey for a long time. Yes, in France, yes, in fact, we're very self-conscious, so weight is part of the culture,
Mhm.
being not overweight.
Yeah.
So I moved to America and I lived the same way, but I noticed a difference. So I was doing the exact same thing, except that I wasn't walking everywhere. So I gained a lot of weight in America. Uh, like a
Welcome to
lot.
the club.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is true what they say, but yes, I
Mm.
did gain a lot of weight in America over the years. I've been there for 10 years, and it just kept going. So yes, it was last year that I tried the GLP-1. I've tried the Zep bound one. It was my doctor who said he would rather give me this one than Ozempic
Mhm.
because it was more for weight loss than
Okay.
diabetes.
Right.
The Ozempic was more for towards
Diabetes.
directed towards diabetes. So
Right.
I was also pre-diabetic. That's
Mhm.
also why I wanted to try the drug, but it was all mainly for the weight loss, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And so when I started, you have different doses. So you start with those 2.0, 2.5.
Okay.
So it was the beginning starter dose. So I took the shots. So the shots are 4 shots per month, so 1 shot per week. Every week, the same day of that week, every Thursdays was the shot day.
Mhm.
So I did that. So the first weeks, uh, noticing the side effects. There was not much side effects for me, except that yes, it didn't constipate me. It did the opposite. It gave
Mhm.
me
Oh,
diarrhea in the
wow.
mornings,
Wow.
but
Wow.
not every morning.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's so
That's
did you get hungry because you're supposed to not eliminate as often, and that is one of the reasons you don't get hungry and then you don't
yeah.
eat as much. But did you have that? Like, mm-hmm.
Yes. So
Okay.
I had a little nausea. That was the beginning because my body is starting to noticing taking something very different, and it's
Yeah.
my body's changing everything. So then I noticed that I starting to be less hungry.
Mm-hmm.
What it really does, the two effects that I saw that drug does to you is you're less hungry, you
Mm-hmm.
become hungry, but when you're hungry, when you eat, you're full way faster, so you
Right.
don't eat as much. I've
Okay.
also noticed the carbs, if I ate meat or vegetables, I wouldn't be full as fast, but if I ate bread, I will be like
Oh, right. Yeah.
pasta, rice, all this stuff like that, I will be full way quicker.
Yeah, because it's
So,
designed to work on the carbs.
yeah.
It's the carbs that we
Yeah.
crave. Nobody craves, oh my God, I'm just dying for an egg.
Broccoli.
The protein.
Oh, some broccoli. We're never dying to have a piece of broccoli, right?
No.
Never. But for a donut or a slice of cake,
Yeah.
the carbs, yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I
So
would
did
have
it,
a donut, but I would
okay.
just have a piece.
So it didn't dissuade you from having carbs, but you just weren't as interested. Or you, as
Exactly.
you
I
said,
would
you
be
would have a
full.
piece.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would be full quicker. So
Yeah.
I would just
Mm-hmm.
like when I would order at the restaurant, I would share with somebody instead of having a full meal because I would be wasting
Yeah.
the meal, half of it. Yeah.
How much did you lose and how long did it take?
So I was at 187 pounds, which
Mm-hmm.
is 84 kilograms.
Mm-hmm.
And total that whole journey, I went to wait, I wrote it down. Yeah, 58 kilograms. So that was
Wow.
my lowest weight.
Right. What's that in pounds? I have no idea. I can't see.
So I went from 187 pounds
Yeah.
to 129 pounds.
Oh my God. Wow.
So
That's when we
80,
saw
We
you.
saw you, you were really
And I
I was, yeah,
remember seeing you in the last family
Jamaica,
gathering in Jamaica
Jamaica.
or in Vancouver. Where do we? And then we saw you in New Jersey months later, and it was like,
night and day.
who is this person? Like, wow, what did you do? And then you talked about it. And I remember going, like most people who don't know, thinking, oh no, this is bad. This drug is too much. And without doing the research, without knowing, I have completely changed my mind. Up to
It's because it
yesterday,
was new.
I had a friend that asked me, Janet, would you really recommend this? And I'm saying, yes, 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 because we're going to talk about it, right? But what else do you want to tell us? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because it was new. So when something is new, we don't really know what to do
Yeah.
or how it is.
You know what,
So I
Juliet, would
lost.
you believe it's not new? It's been around over 20 years since the
I
first
did
one
not know
came.
that.
I even have the name of it written somewhere in my notes, which I can't find when I need it. But over 20 years ago, they started studying this. And
Mhm.
what they were looking at fat loss, but they were looking at diabetes rather, diabetes. And they found that when they gave the drug for diabetes as a side effect, then the weight loss happened. And so they
Mhm.
realized, the way these scientists go, they search and they check and they find out that there is a direct correlation with
Okay.
that. And the prognosis for the future, they said, the research that found, one person said the importance of these GLP drugs, it's equivalent to when they first found out about antibiotics. They're putting
Wow.
it as that important. And that for between the next 10 to 20
So you
years,
have several applications.
yeah, within the next 20 years, they say this will be as commonplace probably as just taking anything else, right? Of course, the price will have to come down. How expensive was it for you?
Okay, so that's where it is. If it's prescribed with the insurance,
Mhm.
it's was $30 US for
That's
me.
good. You have good
But
insurance.
well, that's the thing. My husband changed job, so we had a
Mhm.
different insurance, and then it was 400 a month
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
so for a week, once
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, 400 for 4 vials.
Hmm.
Are you still on it right now?
No, so I stayed for a year. I
Mhm.
Okay.
started in January and I stopped in January. It was my choice.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can stop what you use. I still recommend to see with the doctor, but he said it was okay to just stop the
Mhm.
next day and not take it. Um,
What some doctors like to do is use metformin and use it, and it's like bring you down, you know?
Okay,
But
so yeah, I started with a 2.5 dose and then I noticed that I was used to it. So my doctor said I could go a little higher. It
Mhm.
goes up to 15, but I only went up to 7.5. I went from 2 to 7. When I was talking about the bathroom and the nausea stuff, it's just for the first week because afterwards I
Okay.
was fine. It never I would feel bad, very bad, if I ate more than, like, if I
Okay.
was full, and
Yeah.
that's when you feel sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then you get used to it, and then I said I would possibly stop it. So we went down the back to the 2.5, and
Mhm.
then he said, "When I'm ready, I can stop."
Okay.
That's how we went down. Yes, it's
Okay.
true
Okay.
that there's levels.
We're going to get into some further explanation as to how it works and the side effects. But right now, seeing that you're off of it, how do you feel?
Uh, so I've gained back some weight, but I've been more hungry. I was still on it. It was at the end that I was taking it.
Mhm.
So even though still on it, I was still getting a little hungrier, but
Mhm.
not crazy hungry either.
Yeah.
So
But I think it's
that craving
because
is
I was
gone.
taking it for a while, so I got used to it, I
Yeah.
think.
Okay. Good point.
Yeah.
Because what they say is, which is exactly what happened to you,
Hmm.
when you reach that saturation point, and this is the same for most medications,
Hmm.
they have a point where they're not effective anymore
Yeah.
because your body, it's like taking antibiotics. If you take it and then after a while, they just don't work for you anymore. And so
You're
many
used
things
to
do
it, yeah.
that. Your body
Yeah.
gets used to it and it's no longer effective,
So you need to
right?
take a break.
So you need to take a break, get back,
Yeah.
Right.
whatever, with this. Yeah.
Would you go back on it?
I would if I started to gain more weight, yes. But what I haven't done and what you should do is exercise. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
think it would maintain
Mhm.
the 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 system and you need
Yeah.
to exercise anyways, but I
Yes,
think
right.
yeah.
Julia, you in the little you've shared with us, you've impacted so many of the questions that people have
Probably.
because what one researcher said is that somebody asked her, I need to write down my sources. Probably when I start doing this properly, I should share my sources. But one of the situations was, who is the perfect candidate for this drug? And you know what her answer was? Anybody.
Yeah.
Whether you want to just maintain your weight, or you may have a metabolic issue like the
Yeah.
diabetes or any other chronic. You also said you liked, you had, what's the other one? Blood pressure and
Diabetes.
Also, I had high blood pressure, cholesterol,
cholesterol. That's the one I'm
and pre-diabetes.
pre-diabetic, right? Not full-blown diabetes, but pre. And
And it all went down.
yes, it's amazing. And so what you said is, if somebody is trying to lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds, or 50 or 100 pounds,
Yes.
this drug will help. And it helps because the way in which they are designed, you can get on, but the perfect way actually, but there's so much controversy, right? But the
Yes.
perfect way seems to be in micro doses, right?
Yeah.
So if you're microdosing, now there's a standard that it will come with the application. So if you go less than what they recommend to start, you probably would not have gotten that nausea. Because as you said, you took a higher level in the beginning and your body kind of reacted to it in the first week until you got used to it, right? So
Yeah.
this is something, Frederick, that apparently even you could be on it and you think there's nothing wrong. Like if you wanted to lose your gut.
I don't have a point. Julia, you're on.
You haven't seen him in a while, Julia. He has a pot and he walks, but he could lose 10, 15 pounds. He
My
could.
age, I'm entitled to it. I'll be 75 years in a few weeks.
Guess what? There's no
So
age
I'm
restriction.
entitled
There's
to a
no
punch.
restriction, no age
Okay.
restriction. If you're 18, I don't know about younger children. I don't think they give this to younger children.
I would not recommend
So,
them.
yeah. So it's all about the peptides, though, right? And what I have learned is that peptides,
Well, that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about how it works and what they actually do. And Juliet gave a pretty good explanation of as to what it did for her. But basically what it is, it's a drug that sends a message to the brain. It fools the brain.
Yes.
Right. And the brain says, okay, you are full. You've had enough.
Yes.
Time to stop eating.
Yeah.
Right.
Even the name GLP-1, I used to call it GLR before, but it actually means something. GLP is, go back, Dr. Reddy. It's glucagon.
Glucagon like peptide 1.
It's a glucagon-like peptide,
peptide
1.
That's right.
And that's where the name comes from.
Right.
Right? And GLP is actually made in the gut, right? It's made in the gut when you eat. But over time, most people are losing the amount that we need. And it doesn't last long when it's in the gut, right,
So this
Frederick?
drug makes it last longer.
It does make it last longer.
Right? And you get a stronger version of the signal because the body is signaling to you as you eat, I've had enough. I've had enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're not listening because the food tastes good, it looks good, and you want more. So
Yes.
this drug, it just amplifies the sound. It amplifies the message and says, you got to stop eating.
Now,
You feel sick.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, no, I can't. It's
Really?
really like, yeah.
I'm
Like, oh
dying
no,
to get
I
that
can't.
feeling. I'm
Yeah,
dying to
it
get
did the
that
job for
feeling
me.
where I just won't want the food because
Yes.
you know me, Juliet. I can have a first course and I'm perfectly full and I go and I have a little bit more.
I would
Or
do
when
that.
Lisa sends over the donuts from
Oh, yeah.
Crave, that I take a small piece and I said, I'm not eating this and I'll eat half.
You just can't.
The next,
change.
so it's the
Just
food.
can't. Discipline.
Been there.
Discipline.
It's the food noise, and there's actually a term called food
It's
noise.
not the food noise.
It's Frederick, you have not.
It's
If
not
you
the-
don't know what
It's
food
not the
noise
food
is.
noise. It's not the food noise. It's your inability to say no.
Exactly.
So
That's what
it's
food
not-
noise is
it's not the
because
food noise.
Frederick, Juliet, if he doesn't know the term food noise, he has not done complete research.
No,
Because that is
I
a thing.
no, but
It is a thing. So it's not
but
you
I'm not
saying
buying
it's
it.
a
I
thing.
don't care who says it. I am not buying it.
That's
It's your inability to say no.
That's what
So
food
it's
noise is.
it's,
Even people like
it's lack
Oprah,
of discipline.
it is lack of discipline. That's what
So it's
we're
not
saying.
food
But
noise.
it's
It's
not
a
because
disease.
something is wrong with you. It's not because something is wrong with you. It's not because you are greedy.
No, we're not
It's
going to
not.
argue over this. I'm telling you from what I see and from what I know. If you don't have the ability to say no, don't blame it on the food and call it noise.
Juliet, let's have an intelligent conversation on this. All right? Because the old school way of thinking, the way that Frederick thinks, it's not that is
There's only
the
two ways you
problem.
can do things, right or the wrong way.
You know what?
But wait, nobody would be fat if we stop when we need to stop. Like,
For the last 60 years, the experts, people have gone to the gym. They have paid for the people at the gym that train for trainers. They've
yes.
spent money on every diet possible. And they know what to do. They buy the scales, they buy
Yeah,
the
they know.
apps, they wear the watches, and they're still obese. They still can't shake. Look at Serena Williams, good case in point. I listened to a show, she was on Oprah, and they talked about the food noise. And what
Yeah.
she said was she wished she had known about this while she was in the middle of her career because she felt it would have enhanced her performance.
Oh,
Because it not only helps with the diabetes, it helps with inflammation, it helps with so many other factors. It gives you energy, right? The peptides, they give you energy, so you will want to work out, right? Now,
yeah.
when you talk about your side effect not working out, what was your lifestyle before? You used to walk a lot in France. Did you come to
Yes.
America and just give that up, or what was the situation?
Yes, because everything was far. You need the car for everything. I was in a different environment. I didn't have all my situations. My friends are the places I used to go. I was
Yeah.
just with my husband.
Mhm.
So yeah, it played a lot.
Right.
Uh,
Now,
and let's be honest, I don't like exercising, but so
but now
yeah.
if you were to get back on it, right?
Yes.
You know absolutely that you would need to exercise because that's one of the biggest controversies with it. Not a controversy, it's a fact that if you
Yes, no, it's a
don't
fact.
exercise
You
and
have to
maintain
exercise.
proper
Yeah.
nutrition,
Yeah.
you will lose lean muscle mass, not just muscle
Yeah.
mass, but the lean muscle mass. And when the weight comes back on, you're actually don't gain back that lean muscle mass. It's very, very difficult. You will gain back
Yes.
fat and not lean muscle, right?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
is critical. But a significant question I wanted to ask you,
Mhm.
because they said this could be a side effect. Don't know if you had it. You lose a desire for food, but they say you could emotionally lose other things, decrease sexual in desire,
Mhm.
as well as just hanging out with friends. Like it's not just a loss of not just a loss of the fat and the
Physical
appetite,
part, yeah.
Yeah.
but the emotional,
Social
that you the
gathering and stuff like
social.
that. You
Did you
withdrawn. You become withdrawn.
any of that?
Yeah.
No. No, I didn't feel that way.
You're still a
No.
party animal, right?
Yep.
You see her dancing the other day.
Yep. No, no,
Okay, cool. That's
I
good.
guess we're all different, but for
Mhm.
me, I didn't lose any of that.
Good.
I
That's
did
wonderful.
lose a little bit of hair,
Mhm.
but it was not directly because of the shots are not gonna make you lose hair.
Right.
But I lost weight really fast, and
Mhm.
that made it that I lost a little bit
Oh,
of hair.
which is
Is
something
there?
else you brought up. One more thing, Frederick, before I lose what I'm going to say. What they say is it's not the drug itself that is the problem. It
Hmm.
is the dosage. Like if your
Probably,
doctor
yeah.
puts you on something too fast, the
Yeah.
dosage is a problem and
That
how it's
cause you to
administered
lose
rather
much
than the
faster.
drug itself, because you're not
Hmm.
supposed to lose
Yeah.
your hair if you're doing it in microdoses.
During the
So
period of
at the Mhm.
during the period of weight loss, did you experience any kind of weakness or unbalance when you walked? I mean, imbalance when you walk?
The only thing that I did notice is when I would it was not every day all the time, but like when on the ground I would go up, then I would be a bit
Dizziness,
dizzy.
a
Yeah,
feeling
yeah,
of dizziness. Okay.
yeah. Not all the time, but it did I
Yeah.
remember that happening, yes.
Okay.
Also, what I did at the second part of the year is that I took more multivitamins and stuff like that because when you lose weight very fast,
Yeah.
then you need all those vitamins and that you're
Yes.
not creating anymore or stuff like that.
Protein.
So I really encourage using vitamins, any type.
Yeah. Yeah. For example,
Collagen.
yeah. And we're just talking now about creatine. And what I
Yeah.
learned is that creatine is one of the supplements that everyone could be on, especially older women who muscle loss is a problem. If they take
Yeah.
creatine daily, 5 milligrams every day, it's going to saturate your cells and you're going to feel like exercising. So I'm recommending, I'm not your doctor, but I'm your auntie. So I'm going to tell you, check out creatine and start taking it. So when you get back on, the exercise is
Yeah.
going to be great. Juliet, we know I have to give a big brag about you because you you say you don't exercise, but you're so fantastic at the costumes that you make.
Oh.
Folks, if you saw some of the things that Juliet have made in terms of costumes, not just for Halloween, but for the Comic Con and the amazing, when I say amazing, I feel always that you could be working with any of the big studios in costume department, right?
Thank
So
you.
that actually doesn't require you to jump up and do a lot of things because you're sitting a lot doing that. So
Yeah.
perhaps when you're doing those costumes, put them on and then run around the house or something.
Well, I'd say when I make, because I also make the wigs, this I have to stand up a long time.
Okay, but standing,
Yeah.
sitting, it's not movement. You have
You
to
gotta move.
move.
No.
You have to
Move
move.
it, move it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna take a short break.
Let's find out if she can stay or if you have to.
Yeah, can you stay?
No, I can stay a little bit.
Can stay?
You can
Okay.
stay? Okay, good.
Folks, you're listening to the Liquid Green Health Show, and we didn't quite prepare for a guest until the last minute, but we do have a guest. Her name is Juliet, and she happens to be a family member. And she's given us her experience
Yes.
on one of the weight loss, one of the GLP-1 drugs that she took. And the
I don't know
effects.
that one, Juliet, but I'm gonna research it. I'm gonna look up
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
The zip bound.
She's currently in Seattle, USA, but we talk regularly. We see her all the time, and today she's looking exceptionally beautiful.
Yeah.
And we did get an email in that regard. Someone said that your guest is beautiful. I saw it somewhere, but I'm going to read it
All right.
when I get to it.
Let's
So
but
we're
just
gonna
first,
we're streaming live on Reality Radio 101, and this is, of course, the Liquid Green Health Show. It will be put on YouTube as well as Spotify later.
can I make a suggestion?
Hmm?
Let's stick with Juliet for as long as she can.
Yes, yes.
Let's continue the show next week because we do have some pointers that we want to
Yeah.
get into.
Okay.
I don't want to rush and do that. But before you do the email, I found my notes that I had written.
Okay.
Listeners, listen carefully to this, and this is not my words.
So basically,
This is from the research.
before you go, so
Yeah.
basically what you're saying is a lot of the notes that we have, we're not going to discuss it today.
Right. We probably won't get around
We
to it.
won't get around to, seeing that we have a live
Yeah.
guest. So
But
we'll just talk about her experience
Yeah.
and some of the notes that you have, and then,
Okay.
you know,
Right.
okay.
So it says why obesity is, it says obesity is classified as a biological disease because medical science has revealed that it is driven by complex physiological systems rather than a lack of willpower or laziness, Frederick. And these are the experts. This classification is based on several key biological factors found in the sources. And it says, there is something we call the enough point,
Yeah.
right? Which is like an internal thermostat. And it says the body maintains an internal set point or enough point for fat, which functions like a thermostat. If the brain's thermostat is set to a higher weight, it will use biology to fight weight loss. When a person diets or exercises to lose weight, what happens when they quit? Frederick, what usually happens?
Get it back.
The body comes back right to where the
Yeah.
original weight
That
was.
setting, it comes back to
In
that
some
point.
cases, it
Yes.
goes above. So it's as if you turn the thermostat down when the room is warm, it comes right back up to that set point. When I saw that, I thought, I am not just greedy. There is a reason this is happening. It says, if the brain's thermostat is set to a higher weight, it will use biologically, I said that, biology to fight weight loss. When a person diets or exercises to lose weight, the body interprets this as starvation and responds by increasing appetite, often called food noise.
Well, that's just
Thank you.
terminology. It's just a
But
term.
what I'm saying is I didn't make it up.
No, I'm not saying you made it up.
Yes,
I'm
you
just saying-
did. You're
no,
saying we're talking about food noise
no, I didn't say you made it up. I said I don't accept it.
and
It's food.
slowing down the metabolism to conserve energy. Anyway, I rest
Yeah,
my
but that
case.
basically is what the drug is doing. The drug is telling the body to stop eating.
Correct.
But
The
it
drug
has
is counteracting the food noise.
no, it's counteracting your natural programming. That's what it's doing. That's what the drug is doing.
Yes, because
And by doing that, there are some side effects, some major side effects, which we may or may not get into talking about it.
no, there are side effects. It depends. This drug is
There
not
are
for
many
everybody.
side effects.
There are many,
But not
but
everybody's gonna experience them.
the same, exactly. And it depends on how it's administered, and it depends on how it's managed. Okay?
Yeah, but whether it's administered correctly or not, it's a drug that will cause side effects on long-term use.
But if it's
On
administered,
long-term use, all drugs have side effects.
yes,
Agreed?
Frederick, yes.
So it doesn't matter
You
how
can say that all
Yeah.
drugs have side
So
effects,
it
but
does-
does the benefits
it's an
outweigh?
unnatural, it's a synthetic.
If the
that-
benefits outweigh the
Yeah, we have to look at
wait, what is the word? If the benefits outweigh the disadvantages,
Yeah.
then more than likely it's good to do. And this is what we're
For
finding with
period
these
of-
drugs. Yes, they're not designed for you to be on it for the rest of your life. No. Okay?
Mhm.
But Julia,
It was a good jump start to
Yes,
and that
yes.
is what that
And
is
people
the
have to
key.
realize that it's a jump start.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Even 3 months.
Yeah.
You know, low dose, microdosing, shorter period,
Yes.
get on. See if that will help you to then maintain, to try to do what you should have been doing
Exactly.
without it.
But then if the
It's
because
person
exercising
have the
at
discipline,
yeah.
if the person doesn't have the discipline to exercise regularly and to listen to the signals of the body, then they're going to have a problem.
as
Yes.
Juliet just
They're
said.
going to have a problem.
But it's
you were going to say.
it's easier to exercise at 58 kilos than 84 kilos, then you can
Yeah.
try and maintain better at that time. But yeah, you have to do it at
One
some
last
point.
question.
But
Sure.
yes.
Go ahead.
But I also think the motivation, if you're paying the full price too, because it's a lot of money,
That will
you're
motivate
gonna
you.
want to work out because you spent all that money.
Yeah, that alone will
That could
motivate.
be a motivation.
Yeah. One thing, but I just want to ask you this so I don't forget, and then we're going to jump
Yes.
to a lot of emails.
Okay.
When people see you for the first time and
Mhm.
they react, oh my God, who's this? Like, Juliet, what did you
When
do?
I
Are you
lose the
sick?
weight.
Whatever. Yes. How did that affect you? How did you deal with that?
So I had two types of reactions. The
Mhm.
people who are trying to be respectful and not talk
Mhm.
about it, but
Right.
there's the other half who said I had compliments and it felt really good. I was like, thank you. I'd rather have people tell me, "Oh, you lost weight, you look good," than the people not saying anything when clearly they knew. But
Yeah.
I was not offended either. But
You just don't want to hear that.
no, yeah, I would rather hear the people who noticed it and saying something about it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I have friends, I have quite a few friends that have been on it and that are on it. And I can see the difference. And I'm really quite jealous. in some respects because I know I know how much I work out and what I try to do. And I still, honest to God, it's so hard to lose 10 pounds. I
Yeah.
lose 2 pounds and then I put it back on. Then I lose 3 pounds and I put it back on. Then I go to
Yeah.
Dr. Poon and that doesn't work because I can't eat veggies for 2, 3 weeks nonstop with just a
Yeah.
piece of meat. I can't do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Frederick,
Look,
you're all
the
yours.
other day I was shocked at my weight, 250. And I'm saying, no way, I'm way overweight. And I got a cold, remember?
Mhm.
Coughing and stuff.
Yeah.
Immediately I lost
Immune system.
8 pounds. Boom.
Mm.
Just like that.
So would you rather be sick to lose weight?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
No, no.
I'm just
not saying
teasing you. I'm just
no.
teasing.
But I'm saying weight loss for me is not a big problem.
It's a problem because
No.
you were sick. That's why you lost the weight. You
No.
didn't lose it because
Yes.
you tried to
No.
and then did.
No. If I exercise as regularly as I should, I wouldn't put on that weight.
First of all,
That's because I wasn't going to the gym and I got lazy. I wasn't going to the gym and I put on weight.
yeah.
So
But
I can throw it off easily.
Juliet, we know it's biological. Gary, you're also listening. For men, it's always easier for them to lose weight
Yeah,
than women.
I would agree
Right?
with that. Yeah,
Okay.
I would agree with that.
Okay,
Anyway,
let's hit some
the show is not about me.
questions and emails.
We have quite a few email. I'm going to start with Sue, and Sue says, why is my print so small? Can you read that on yours?
It says, too bad OHIP will not cover the medications. And where this is talking about Canada.
Yeah, and that's what Gary said
right?
to us.
Unless it's
pretty expensive.
prescribed for diabetes and all other diabetes medications, they do not work. It is not prescribed as a first line medication and definitely not for weight loss. So in Canada, we're having a little bit of struggle trying to get it as easily as they prescribe in the US. And it's
Okay.
awfully expensive. And even if you're on, you have to, even for diabetes, you have to prove that you're using. I asked the pharmacist, you have to prove that you're using at least some other form of medication and that it's not working, and then they'll consider it.
You're kidding.
Right?
Mhm.
But in the future, it's going to become so commonplace worldwide.
It's only a matter of
Everybody's
time.
going to be using this at some point.
Bob says this stuff costs between, and you said the same thing, Juliet, between $450 and $900 per month.
Whoa.
Here in Canada, that's Canadian dollars,
Yeah.
right?
But still.
If not covered by OHIP. Wow, that's quite a chunk. And Beth says, here's the difference: Ozempic versus Mounjaro.
Yeah.
Jen, can you read that? Because
Where?
I can hardly see it.
Okay, Beth says, here's the difference, Ozempic versus Mounjaro. Mounjaro is better as it lasts longer and has a dual receptor ingredient. It lasts longer, but it is more expensive. All right?
Mm.
And I don't know the differences in terms of cost, etc. My research has not taken us there. So that's
Hopefully
good.
when we can rerun this,
Yeah.
do this next week, and
When
we
we-
have all
yeah,
that
yeah.
information.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and read from my phone because
Okay.
for some reason, if you can get the other one, for some reason it's too small on
Okay.
the computer.
Folks, all right. Here we are. Just bear with me, Juliet.
No.
Okay. So,
I may have some answers too.
okay, right, Beth. It says, where are we? Bart. Hello, Coxes. Very good show today. I work in the health field here in Ontario, Canada. The doctor that I work for has turned down several hundred patients
Wow.
in the last 2 years regarding this stuff. It is too expensive and it isn't prescribed for weight loss. That is a vanity item and it's not covered. Oh my goodness.
So
We are behind the eighth ball.
Yeah.
Because weight loss is not about vanity. Weight loss comes with so many metabolic issues that stem from obesity. So
Yeah, I had high
that's
blood
of the
pressure,
email.
high cholesterol, stuff
It's
like that,
so many.
diabetes.
So many of the chronic diseases, cardiovascular. I mean, we've covered this enough and not being doctors to know that that is ridiculous. Anyway, this is a vanity item and therefore not covered, even by most private insurance companies. Plus, the insurance companies have a problem with covering these drugs. They're not going to make as much money, right?
You got to keep paying.
Yeah.
Up here for anything other than difficult treatment or of diabetes. Only folks with money like Juliet, would be able to afford it unless it is a last resort type of medication to be used for diabetes only. Great show. Thanks for sharing. Okay.
And here's one from Greg. And Greg says, Janet, just exercise and cut down on your caloric intake. That's it.
Okay. Greg, thank you for that. But Greg, I have tried. My doctor says, at least 12 years ago, my doctor said, young lady, but that was when I was young, right? Calories in, calories out. That is true, but it is not easy to do. So, who is this drug for? This drug is for people who have tried, genuinely tried, have not succeeded. They want to lose the weight and they just, Juliet, you use the word, they just need a jump start.
Jump
It's
start.
like getting your car, your standard car, you give it a push and then it goes. I don't intend to lose 20 pounds on it. Okay, so I'm not intending to be on it for a year. Most people, though, Julia, you got off after 1 year. The average is 2 years. Most people will stay on it for 2 years. That seems to be the point where they run out of money, or it's just not working anymore. As we, and the body just get used to it, and it doesn't work anymore.
And that brings us to the next one. This drug should only be prescribed to folks that are 100 or more pounds overweight. It's being abused, and that's from John.
Okay, and Larry says, Janet, I just love your niece's accent.
Oh yeah, that's the email I saw earlier.
Juliet, we love the French, right? Say something to us in French. Tell us about your experience in French in one sentence.
Alors, j'ai perdu du poids grâce à Zepbound et ça marchait très bien pour moi.
Okay, and I have no idea what you
Whatever it
said.
is you said, it sounds good.
Okay, and the next
I said I
one.
lost weight because of Zepbound and it worked for me.
Okay, yeah. All right. Oh my God, it's impossible. It's impossible. It's 6:25 and we've done a quarter of the emails.
We haven't really touched on the notes that we had prepared to talk about this show. We have quite a few emails.
A lot.
We have to make a decision.
Plus, we lost 10 minutes trying to get ready for the show. So we're absolutely going to do this again next week. So Pam says, amazing, great show today. A lot of us out here have been wondering about these drugs. Amazing. Thanks, Pam. Pam, I have been trying to hear from people who have taken it.
Yes.
And they're reluctant to talk about it. So Juliet, I'm so happy last minute and you were free and open.
Yes, of course.
And sharing. Plus you can't say no to Auntie Janet, right?
No, Auntie.
And Ray says, hello today to Liquid Green. This is like a miracle drug, but be careful. It can be abused. And Ray, you are correct. It is like a miracle drug because of all the benefits people have seen. Amazing results. Juliet, what do you say about that? It can be abused. How would somebody abuse it, do you think?
By
staying on it too long.
Staying on it too long, or maybe take more than they should, or just relying on the pill. And you have to do some type of work.
No free ride. No free ride.
Yeah, nothing is free. I think the thing of it is that you have to do your part too, taking that medicine.
You gotta work.
And not abusing it either. Yes, yeah.
You can't just put gas in the car and expect it to run.
Exactly.
You gotta start the engine, right?
So we have time for one more email, and it's covered already. It says, OHIP. This is from Sean, who says, OHIP and the Canadian government, we're going to start a petition to this Ontario government. Will not cover this, only under extreme circumstances. Well, I don't know how. I am going to have to make up some kind of a issue why I need to take this free. I am going to get this free, folks, and then I'll tell you how I did it.
I love this email from Frank. Frank says, Janet, what are you waiting for? Get on it and enjoy the cookies just like Fred.
If Janet went but to get on. No, this is the thing. I enjoy the cookies.
Enjoy the cookies that Fred buys.
Listen, remember, he is my enabler. I said, I'm going to try and start this diet this week. He says, great, I'm going to bake bread. And then he knows what I'm going to do with the bread.
Frank, I baked a cake last night and they ate it out.
Exactly.
Before it cooled down.
And last one, Pam, I have to read this. Pam says, what if Janet went on this drug, would she not do all the dangerous things that she does? Would it help? Thanks. Oh, you know what? Our audience think I do crazy things. They should hear about Jean, my sister, your mom.
Yep.
Jean has my bucket list. All the things she has done, other things I want to try, but she's done them before I have. Juliet, thank you so much. You were awesome. Perhaps when we come back next week, we'll get you on.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
we're going to try.
we have to
we're going to do it
there.
next week, and we're going to get into the what ifs and you know all the things that we didn't get a chance to get into this week.
Yes.
At that point, folks, Juliet, we have to say thank you very much. This
No
is
problem.
1 hour and 1 hour, as Janet always says, just have 22 minutes. This is the Liquid Green Show. And today we were talking about the GLP-1 drugs. And fortunately, we had a guest, and we have to close off because I can hear the music in the background. And
Gary, give me 1 minute. Gary, give me 1 minute, please. Alexis says, we love this. We love when Janet and Fred argue. That makes the show. Lenny says, hello, folks. There are side effects to these drugs. My wife started to lose some of her eyesight. We're going to take that up next week. And last one I'll try to squeeze in. Fred, no. You better not get on this. Uh-oh. Less sex.
folks,
done.
Until next Sunday, please like, share, and subscribe. We are the Coxes reminding you, let's stay healthy on Reality Radio 101. We'll be back next week.
And thanks, Gary, for putting up with us. Thanks, Julia.
Thank you for listening to the Liquid Green Health Show with your hosts, Fred and Janet Cox, right here on Reality Radio 101.